Alright gamers, good morning from Incirlik, Turkey. This is mission number 2 in the Operation Inherent Resolve DCS campaign. I'm sitting in an F-18C Hornet. I've got my auto start going, and while the auto start's running, we're going to review today's mission brief. As you guys know, this is a campaign centered around the coalition's intervention against ISIS in Syria. Currently based out of Incirlik, Turkey. We've been launching out of here, across the border into Syria to conduct operations against ISIS today, taking on mission number 2. This one's called Task Force Zeus. Task Force Zeus is an special operations ground element. They are going to be coming off of a naval strike group in the Eastern Med. Our mission is to set conditions for their arrival to an airfield that we are going to neutralize so that they can be delivered safely to that airfield aboard some CH-47 Chinooks. We've got the mission divided up into 4 different objectives here. First, we have to successfully land Task Force Zeus at the airbase, and then there's 2 targets on the apron that we're responsible for destroying. Both of them are static MiG-21s, as best I can tell. And then we can arrive back to the apron here at Incirlik Air Base and park for our final 10 points. Here's our situation. In order to gain a foothold in the region, the coalition will be expanding its base of operations. First up is Menak Airfield. I'm going to mispronounce that this entire mission. That is in northern Syria. Menak Airfield has changed hands several times recently, but is now home to Daesh fighters. These extremist militants have devastated the local area and carried out several atrocities in the region, and we have been tasked with destroying them. A strike package has been assembled and will attack the airfield, destroying key AAA defenses and targeting Daesh fighters and vehicles on the ground. Once these targets have been destroyed, Task Force Zeus, which is carried aboard 3 CH-47s escorted by 3 H-64D Apaches, will be launching from the Naval Strike Group in the Eastern Med and will assault the base and retake control of the airfield. Today's roll call, we have Chariot, that's a U.S. Air Force C-130. They are the air boss. Texaco 11 is a KC-135 NPRS carrying a basket, so if we need gas, they're on TACAN 72 Yankee. That may come in helpful later. Striker 34, that is our call sign. We are a flight of 2 F-18Cs. Our role is Strike. Hitman 21 is 2 F-15Cs, responsible for cap. Talon 44 is 4 F-18Cs. They're responsible for seed, and then Spear 69, 2 F-15Es are responsible for strike. Task Force Zeus, that's the Special Operations Ground Task Force. They're being carried aboard Zeus 41, that's 3 CH-47s, including the flight lead for those ships, as well as Ugly 21, that's their armed escort with 3 by H-64s. Delta 6 is the SF team leader, and then we're all coming back to Turkey. Looking at our route today, we'll be taking off from Incirlik, heading out at 18,000 feet to waypoint 1, hitting the saddle at 20,000 feet between waypoints 1 and 2. That's when the strike package will actually build in flight. Hit waypoint 2, turn south for the ingress at waypoint 3, hit IP at waypoint 4, bombs on target at Menak Air Base, waypoint 5, before shoving off to waypoint 6. On the airfield itself, they've got AAA man pads, bunch of fighters, dug in positions, multiple vehicles, things like that. I would presume there's probably already other elements in the area as well, potentially QRF, all that sort of stuff. And then reference the Zeus Task Force landing site. Looks like they are west side of the airfield, on the northern edge of the main. Pretty cool intel. So yeah, fairly small airfield, low threat, but there's 2 MiG-21s being prepared on the apron. Anti-air defenses at the base have been stepped up with several truck-mounted 23mm guns and AAA. Heavy ground fire to me, that means I need to stay high as I can. 10K Angels probably. Man pads and shoulder fired, yeah, definitely 10K. Also be aware that up to 200 fighters around the base are armed with small arms and can pick up mounted 23mm AAA. So HMGs, small arms, shoulder fired, and then built-in anti-air defenses. Looks good. There's our MiG-21s on the ramp. They are waypoint 5, so as we get close, we'll be able to waypoint designate 5 to get eyes on our target and deliver ordnance. They've also got fighters in pickups. The old Toyota Hilux of war, as it were. So we'll take off, link up with the strike package. Code word Angela is execute. That'll push the seed package in. That's that flight of F-18s. Talon 4, yeah, so Talon 4-4 is the seed. They'll hit the AAA. We'll follow the seed in with Spear 6-9, which is an additional strike package. They'll hit ground targets. We'll follow up Striker 6-9, tasked with destroying aircraft, those 2 MiG-21s on the apron. And then, afterwards, so we're going to maintain orbit and then conduct armed overwatch for Zeus, remain on station for CAS, and then await confirmation that the airfield is secured, and then RTB. No issues with any of that. I'm going to come back over here to our flight plan. Then let's get this aircraft set up to get out of here. I like this guy right here. Okay. Coming over here, just going to go ahead and set takeoff trim right now. We'll also, I can't get my stick will go to the way. That's weird. RWR on. Double checking my stores page. Pretty sure I have gas based off 15,000 pounds. Yep, left inner, right inner. Our fuel, we've also got 2, I'm thinking those are cluster munitions. Yep, on the center. So 2 cluster bombs on the belly, and then we've got Mark 83s times 4 on the wings, and then AIM 9Ms for self-defense. While we're looking at the stores page, let's go ahead and set these guys to auto. I'm thinking cluster munitions for the MiG-21s since that's our primary target. So I'll put them in auto. Manual fuse, I'm going to have them in VT procs, and then we will double check on the UFC that they are indeed quantity 1, multiple 1. It already says over there, just confirming. Completely unnecessary, but I am OCD, and right now the height is set to 300 foot burst height. I'm going to move that up, I think, to, let's go 900 foot burst height. I'm happy with the rest of that. Now over here, let's bring up our HSI for now. Set it to waypoint 1. I'm going to set bingo at 3,500 pounds just to keep us honest. We may end up having to hit the tanker before we RTB after we're done with actions on, or potentially even in the saddle if we're like hitting burners to catch up while we're up there. Over here, I always like to have the attack radar on. Oh, I have a lightning targeting pod as well, so I'm going to get the pod warming up. I'll go ahead and put it into standby right now, and then I'll just have my attack radar up and ready to go into a nice broad B sweep later on. Our RWR is already on. What I didn't do is come over here and set that to my HUD, and I'm going to put the dispenser in on, let that self-test run. I think I'm going to run programs 1 and 5. Program 1 is 10 chaff, 10 flare, each dispensed in multiples of 2 each second. So bit test is a go. Let's go ahead and put it into manual 1. Let's double check what that looks like. Program 1, yeah, that 1 chaff, 1 flare, repeated 10 times at intervals of 1 second. And then let's step to 5, 1 chaff, 1 flare, repeated twice at intervals of 1 second. So I'm satisfied with both those. Based off the amount of ground fire that we're seeing, I'm going to leave this thing, rather than it being in bypass, I'm going to leave it in manual 1 so that we're able to quickly trigger either one of those programs. Put ECM into standby, not expecting any radar threats on this mission, but just in case, I'll have it there. Radar altimeter, going to leave it at 250, excuse me. And yeah, I'll leave RWR up over there. I'm going to keep my SA page up down here. Let's go ahead and turn IFF on, data link on, ×2, and all of that should be good to go. At this point, my FLIR should be warmed up. I'll leave it in standby for now. Don't quite need it yet. It's just brightness because it is early morning here, and I've got some nasty glare coming off the HUD, so I'm going to dial that back just a tad. And then my HIMX is on, also seeing a lot of glare on that guy, so we'll dial him back just a tad. And with all of that said and done, I believe that we are ready to start our mission. Double checking my lights back here. They appear to be off, as I prefer. Hitting spacebar to begin this mission. I know that's a lot of aircraft setup. I've got a legend down in the description below if you want to skip all the boring stuff. Some of you guys might appreciate some of the talk-throughs early on. And I kind of treat these playthroughs where I'm just doing like a think aloud protocol almost.
Radio check.
Ooh, are we going down the roll call? That'd be my guess.
Hitman 2-1, radio check.
Yeah, it's everybody checking in. Cool. Yeah, so I just treat this as a think aloud protocol. If I'm thinking it, doing it, I'm talking about it so that you guys get the full experience. You understand what's going through my brain. I'm not a good DCS player. I'm not even an okay DCS player for that matter. So by me narrating what I'm doing, hopefully those of you who are more experienced, if you see something egregiously wrong that I'm doing, you can help me correct it. And for those who are unfamiliar with DCS, maybe you get some value out of hearing somebody talk through it, and perhaps it seems a little bit less intimidating.
This will be your first
Let's listen to our mission.
operational sortie.
For now, the strike package will do most of the heavy lifting, but be careful out there. We don't want you getting shot down.
Yeah, me neither, bro.
Transit to the AO with the strike package. Hitman will handle any air threats. Talon will attack AAA sites around the base. Spear flights will then engage ground forces, hopefully catching these guys on the run.
Having a little drink ski?
Striker, make sure you take out the MiGs on the apron and other ground threats before task force moves in. And good luck.
Simple enough, kind of lines up with the brief that we went through.
Roger, Sheridan. Great to be on out with you guys. Can't wait to see how it all gets done.
Why do I sound like such a cherry in these radio calls, man? Definitely rookie vibes here. Engaging nose wheel steering. I'm expecting this Humvee to move out of the way shortly so we can initiate our taxi. But hopefully that rationale makes sense to you guys. You know, I'm talking it, I'm explaining it, I'm doing it. And I try to edit these sequences in a way that is appealing, so hopefully you can actually enjoy the watch whenever you do it. I always get asked about the hardware that I'm using. I'll link all of it down below. Bottom line, I've got a custom gaming rig from Meta PCs. I'm using a Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog with their F18 grip. Also using a Delrin Clip Fusion head tracking device. I've got some cheapo Thrustmaster pedals. And my HOTAS is mounted to a Monster Tech stand, so I can quickly like move it out of the way.
Hitman 2-1 is taxi.
Cool, Hitman 2-1, that's a flight F-15E. Oh, I'm following Spear, which is also an F-15E. So there's two flights of F-15Es, or I think there's just F-15s that are flying CAF. The E's are on strike. There's my number 2 right there. But yeah, I'm using this Monster Tech stand, which is awesome. It's basically a little stand I can slide around my room, plug it in via USB to quickly get my HOTAS up and running, unplug it when I'm editing and doing other stuff. And it's rock solid. A lot of guys use, you know, desk clamps or whatever. This is much easier. It's also like takes up more space, but if you got the space for it, it's nice. Very nice. And it's, you know, a step below like a full-on sim pit, which I don't need, but it would be sick. God, how gorgeous is this game? You see the Hornets out there? That's that seed package. Taking the taxiway. Strike Eagles look so sick.
2 is taxi.
And then myself and humble number 2 back there. And our Hornets taking up the rear. This is going to be a freaking gorgeous flight. Sun's coming up. Getting a nice dawn takeoff.
Hitman 2-1, wheels up. Tell him the 4-4, rolling.
Oh yeah. This is a lot of airplanes. Might as well be doing an elephant walk out here. And I should say, like, with respect to this mission, this is, you know, quasi-realistic. No pilot, but I'm a ground guy. And what we're simply, you know, what we're kind of doing here is it's almost a joint forcible entry operation that we're seizing a piece of critical infrastructure, in this case, that airfield. But in order to do it, we got a lot of conditions setting to do. In this case, we're putting bombs on target, setting conditions by neutralizing air threats, and then delivering a ground force, in this case, via rotary, so that they can secure the airfield on ground. And then make it safe for us to deliver follow-on forces and then operate out of that airfield. So certainly a mission that could be tasked to a special operations element. Man, how gorgeous is that? So excited to be participating in it. This whole strike package concept, the anatomy of it is very interesting to me as well. Got a hell of a lot of airplanes, a lot of coordination going into making them all work efficiently together, which I think is pretty damn cool. Leading off with the Seed, following that up with Strike, following that up with more Strike, escorting it all with Cap, putting a tanker in the air, putting a C-130 with an air boss in it overhead to mission command the entire thing, and then all of that linking up with Rotary to set conditions and actually deliver the ground force to the target. So here we are, nose on the taxiway, flaps are set to half. Trim is already set. I'm on the brakes. Throttle's going forward, kicking in those burners. Burners are on, off the brakes. Light inputs here to nose wheel steering to keep us oriented generally down the center line. This is when those cheapo pedals, I kind of start to feel them. Should rotate here pretty easily.
2 rolling.
2's already rolling behind me. We are rotating. And wheels up, gears up, flaps are up. As we gain speed, get the flaps up, get the gear up, I'm going to start paying attention to trim coming out of burners here as well. And look at that just parade of death marching through the sky. So we're wheels up out of here, heading out to waypoint 1. I'm going to go ahead and designate it as the waypoint, set all of this to auto. Now I've got steering cues on the HUD. We are 30 miles from waypoint 1. I'm not in a real rush to get to 1, but between 1 and 2 is when we get in the saddle. We'll actually assemble the strike package in the air, get everybody nice and tight. That's where we're looking for that code word, Angela, to actually kick off the operation. I'm interested to see how this campaign handles the interplay between the air and ground. Once we get Zeus on the ground, what that cast support looks like, whether or not they're actually going to give me, you know, talk-ons, 5 lines, 9 lines, or if it's going to be like, hey man, we're getting shot at, shoot the red smoke. Either of those are totally fine to me. I don't need to be super realistic. I don't expect that out of this campaign, frankly. This is kind of advertised as almost an entry-level campaign. My interest in it is, one, I wanted an excuse to check out this map, because I've owned this terrain for a while and haven't spent much time on it. And then the other piece is I actually participated in Operation Inherent Resolve back in 2016. I was a ground guy, interacted a hell of a lot with aviation, but I've never seen it from this perspective, and I was eager to do that. Obviously this isn't a one-for-one, not even close to it, not even historical necessarily, but the context remained the same, as does the environment. And you know, in that regard, I am seeing some similarities just in the type of missions that are advertised in the campaign description. Certainly in this kind of campaign, delivering a strike package and doing a JFE. I know of some similar, you know, operations that occurred, but nothing of the scale described in this mission anyway. Waypoint 2, 81 miles on the nose. This is where we're going to saddle up. And go ahead and start putting a little bit of juice in the aircraft, knowing that we have to link up with the rest of the strike package. Right now they are about 10 miles in front of us, maybe just under. Seeing them down here. This center screen between the knees, it's the advanced multicolor functional display. Right now I'm showing the SA page, or the situational awareness page. I've got my data link turned on. That means my airplane's talking to other airplanes. We're all providing position, location, information. So kind of like the position, navigation, and timing stuff. I'm going to blow past these Eagles for now, get linked up with the rest of the strike package, and because I have that position and location information from those other aircraft, I can look down here and I can see that based off my scale, which is right now set at 40 miles, they're about, I don't know, 7-8 miles in front of me. Alright, everybody called saddled, strike package is assembled, showing 27 miles to our inbound waypoint. Reducing throttle, evening it out. Coming over here to hang out with our Hornet buddies. Hell of a sight, man. Hell of a sight. You cannot beat this game for visuals like this. It is just absurd.
All flights, this is Talon 4-4. 30 seconds from...
Roger that. Alright, I'm going to turn on
All flights, this is Jared.
Couple
Angela, I say again.
barometric
Angela.
altitude hold. Heading to waypoint 2. I'm going to keep flying my waypoints, even if they're out of here.
Roger, Jared. Talon 4-4, heading for targets.
Double checking our info here. So we're going to turn right waypoint 2 for ingress to waypoint 3 over to IP. They want us at 12K over the target airfield, 15K at IP right now. We are sitting 18-ish, just under our designated altitude for the saddle. However, the rest of the flight was there, so I'm not too worried about it. Bottom line, we're looking for 12K over the airfield. I will try to maintain that. I do like this, just so I can get airfield anatomy once we are actually over the target. While we're here, airplane's flying itself right now. When I clicked couple down here, barometric altitude hold, right now my airplane is just flying the waypoints as intended. Now that we're no longer in formation, I'm not super worried about that. I'm going to go ahead and take my FLIR into the on position, bring it over here into my front screen. I'm actually going to put us into air to ground mode, and yeah, we'll leave the stores page up. And on this screen, I'm going to bring up my FLIR, and then in a little bit, I'll designate waypoint 5 as my target waypoint. That'll toggle the FLIR over to it. First, I'm going to make sure that it is uncaged and functioning. I just slaved it to my heading. It indeed does appear to be functioning as designed. I am comfortable with that. F-15's here. That's the strike element right in front of us. I'm expecting to hear some rifle or magnum calls Probably rifle, since they don't have any radar-guided AAA on the airfield, but expecting to hear some rifle calls, meaning that those F-18s up there send their initial volley, probably of Mavericks, targeting the AAA emplacements over the airfield. They are certainly maneuvering as though that's about to happen. F-15s over here to the right, expecting them to chase those F-18s in and hit fighters.
All flights, this is Tower 44. Rifle. I repeat, rifle.
All right, so they are maneuvering. They've got missiles in the air right now. Those F-15s should be following them in shortly. Once those F-15s push, it will be our cue to push. If I look over here on data link, I'm actually showing enemy air up over the airfield, but we have cap available. We have a hell of a lot of airplanes between us and them. Curious what the hell that is, and if I need to be concerned about it. It just died. Never mind. I don't need to be concerned about it. Overwhelming firepower has its perks. We are now approaching waypoint 3, double checking this one more time. Waypoint 3 is our final ingress turn into the IP. That's the initial point offset from the target airfield. The initial point is just where we will collect ourselves, organize our run, and achieve the run-in. In this case, with as much intel as we have, I don't expect that we will be needing to do a whole lot of organizing at the IP. I just need to get good eyes on those MiGs, designate them, and get a cluster munition off over the top of them. My question now is, do I drop both of my clusters? It's just going to depend how far apart those MiGs are parked on the apron.
This is Spear 69. Thanks for the service. We're inbound on target at Angels 10, wings high.
Our F-15Es are going into strike, following that seed in. We are still 6 miles from waypoint 3. I'm going to up the throttle just a little bit. I think I'm going to try to fly somewhere around 350 knots. Any slower than that, I'd start to be a little bit concerned about ground fire. Any faster than that, and I'd be concerned about my ability to maintain good situational awareness on the target. The threat, in my mind, is sufficient such that 350 knots is a decent speed to look for. As we blow past it here, I'm coming back on the throttle. I turned on ATC, that's automatic throttle control. We've hit waypoint 3. Our autopilot's turning us right into waypoint 4. I'm going to come down here to the autopilot and actually disable my barometric altitude hold. And as soon as we are nose on target here, I'm going to start crushing my altitude a little bit. Wingman push is available. I will push him from IP. That means I can task this F-18 over my shoulder to move in and hit targets. I don't know if he's dropping bombs. What do you have on board, bud? Things you should know before you go. Bombs and bombs, looks like. Okay. So I may push him ahead of us. We're 5 miles from waypoint 4, bringing the nose down, bringing the throttle back as I fall, turning off ATC. And I'm actually turning off autopilot completely here. I'm going to toggle up to waypoint 5. I'm going to designate waypoint 5. You can see my FLIR over here is getting a little bit weird. Because that is our target, boys. And there's the MiGs. Okay, I'm going to designate that target for now. Can't tell how far apart they are quite yet. Coming right. Bomb fall line is shown. Master arm is on. $15 miles to target. Bringing it down just under this cloud level. I think I'm going to establish barometric altitude hold just under this cloud level.
This is Talon 4-4. All 8 AAA sites have now been destroyed. Happy hunting. Talon 4 is RTV to the west at 20,000.
All AAA destroyed. Looks good. Look at those effects. My boys, let's go. I'm going to zoom this in even further. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. I'm going to put my bomb right between those two MiGs and see if we can get a airburst 900 feet above it. I'm going to be super touchy here. That looks good. There we go. area track. Now the question is, do we have enough airburst height on that guy to hit both MiGs with one bomb? I'm going to try. I'm also trimming this aircraft because it's still trying to pull left on me. 40 seconds from release here. They are in auto, double checking all the weapons. Cluster munitions set to ready. Mode is auto. Mechanical fuse is set to VT. Free for all with a burst height of 900. Quantity 1, multiple 1. No issues there. 16 seconds from release. Zooming out a little bit on the T-pod, coming left to get on this bomb fall line. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Depressing pickle. Nice. That wasn't particularly stable, but we'll see how we did. Hopefully our T-pod stays in parameter so we can get a good BDA. I am going to go wide just in case we do miss the mark. 315 knots, looking okay. We are 10 seconds from impact. Come on. That was a miss, my boys. That was a miss. Okay, so we had an egregious miss on our last time. That actually caused me to fail the mission, so we are back trying it again now. All right, happy with that. Let's turn on our barometric altitude hold. ATC is still holding. $14 miles to target.
Spear 6-9, we are weapons free. Bombs away.
That looks really clean right there, so I'm going to put attitude hold on for now. Reduce brightness up front, just to give me a little bit more precise picture.
All 8 AAA sites have now been destroyed. Happy hunting. Town 4 is RTV to the west at 20,000.
This is all the zoom I got. Ooh, good hits, boys. How sick is that to see in the lightning pod? Infantry scrambling. I wonder if they're trying to get these jets up. There's no chance, right?
Lethal hits down there. Coming around for another pass.
Looking good, Spear. 27 seconds to release. Based off my run-in heading, I put the designation at the tail of that aircraft, thinking I'm going to kind of fly catty corner almost to the way that they're lined up. 10 seconds. 9. 5. That looked clean. Here's to hoping. Go into a far scan. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on. Let's go, boys! Good hits. Did we get both of them?
We got good hits again with more secondaries.
Love to hear it. All right. Coming over. Look at that glare. I'm literally moving my head to fix the shadow. That is wild. Yo, did I just drop an 83 Bravo? I did! That was an 80... I still have my freaking cluster munitions. Did you see this? I just dropped a regular bomb. Holy crap. All right. That was a hell of a shot, if I do say so myself.
All call signs, Zeus 4-1. We are 10 minutes from the target area.
I've got 10 minutes to make sure it's safe for these helicopters before they land. I see one AAA site active.
Altitude. Altitude.
That was a very dangerous drop, but I just saw AAA. Yep. Oh, shit. Landed short, but we know that that's active. Times 2. God dang. There's so much AAA still active. That looked bad.
All call signs. Altitude. 41. Altitude. 5 minutes out.
Pickle.
And bombs away!
Good hits? Fuck yeah. Our bombing's improving, sort of. I'm also watching for man pads while I'm down close in here. There's one.
I've got good hits. Wow. Check out the secondaries.
No kidding.
Yeah, we really hit him right there.
Two's going in with guns like a boss. Come on, guy. I'm gonna follow in. Now where's it at? Where's that? Where's that? Where's that?
Altitude. Altitude.
Pickle. Coming off, looking for more.
And good strikes. Target's destroyed.
I'm getting a lot more help this time around from other aircraft, which is nice. Because I freaking need it.
Altitude. Altitude.
Pickle. I think we're down to guns. Small arms coming from the ramp. And that back edge. The back edge is the bigger threat to the aircraft. Smoke's obstructing me. There it is. Come on, hits. Got it. Whoa, that was low. Let's go, boys. And some fire from the ramp and off to the left by the that guy's a little bit more dangerous. To the helicopters that are coming in. That's what I'm thinking about right now because I know where they're landing. They're landing on this side of the airfield based off the mission. So I'm killing threats that are nearer to them.
Altitude. Altitude.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Is it you? Nope. Small arms actually on the runway. I'm mindful of guns too because I need to be able to support the helos whenever they get here.
Zeus 41. Preparing to assault target area. Stand by.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold an orbit over here looking for Zeus 4-1. And if they draw fire on infill, I'm going to immediately have to turn hot and defend the half. Gives you an idea of why infantry is necessary, not just to take and hold terrain, but how hard it is to spot targets from aircraft. Jesus. All you pilots out there.
Zeus 41, taking ground fire.
Oh God, where's it at? Where are you taking ground fire from, guys? There's the helicopter. Who the hell is shooting at you? You. Son of a bitch. That's how you protect the half, my boys. Let's go get the guys out and get the hell out of here. Is there another one? There might be another vehicle over there. I wasn't sure, so I'm just putting a burst of that smoke.
Zeus 41, Delta 6 is on the ground, going into hold pattern.
Alright, I gotta save the rest of my guns for Delta 6. They do have friendlies on the ground here, and they're fighting. Green smoke is friendlies, roger. They're in contact with the ramp, it looks like. This is so cool, holy crap. Those helos need to flush ASAP.
Delta 6 is deployed. We're fighting our way to the northeast side of the base. We're receiving lots of small arms fire.
Yeah, visual that, dude.
Striker 3-4, this is Delta 6, requesting gunstream to the northeast apron. Repeat, gunstream
Northeast
to the
apron,
northeast
Roger, Striker, inbound. So they want us to hit that apron. I'm coming perpendicular to friendlies as best I can, fighting off the stall, getting behind the gun, looking for targets. Enemy fighters still on the ground there, visual that. Ooh, HMG fire right as well. Come back in for one more of those. I'm going to engage from further away, get better dispersion on the guns. 344 rounds left. I have a feeling I will be needing every single one of those. I'm going to come overhead friendlies. Typically not the preferred method, but they are clearly marked. I don't have any qualms with it, and I see their mark. So roger that, boys. Good effects? Yes? No? Anybody? 2, I need your guns. Thank you, sir. Right on cue. Did you guys see that? .47s are flushing, finally. Longest time on ground in the middle of an assault ever. Friendlies are assaulting forward. That's their frontline trace. I see no more movers on the apron. There they go. Come on. They are absolutely crushing. All right, their frontline trace is arriving to the apron now, so guns are cold on the apron. Just being very mindful of where friendlies are. And I don't think we dropped any bombs on the main, so that airfield's in good shape. Engineers got to do some work to the taxiways, and all the superstructures are destroyed. But we can land airplanes there and throw up a tent city in just a day or two. I think, despite my shitty bombing, I am proud of the way that I was able to support the helos and take out those trucks on approach, like right as the helicopters were inbound.
Altitude.
Nearly kissed terrain in the process.
All call signs, this is Delta 6. Shield, I say again.
Let's go. Green smoke on the apron. Airbase is ours.
Striker, well done. Delta 6 are now in control of the main airfield.
Striker, copy.
We've got to say congratulations to the boys. Current range to 2,000 pounds is 66 miles. I got 51 miles to the airbase. I was freaking out for nothing. We're okay. So our tanker did check off station, and so I'm unable to get gas off the tanker, which I felt like I really needed, but I hadn't taken a look at this. I went over here to my FPAS page on the support menu, which gives me an idea of my current fuel situation. It's basically showing my best Mach for a current range of 64 is 0.55. My current Mach is 0.68. I'm going to dial it back just a little bit. All right, wind is 0.67 from my front right, 2 meters per second. Should be basically no factor. Aircraft feels really good. Double checking, gears down. Flaps are to full. We're on speed. On glide slope. Still a little bit left of lineup. Or excuse me, right of lineup. Need to come left. I suspect we will be intersecting that point momentarily, leaving the HUD uncaged for now.
Fuel low. Fuel low.
Yeah, true. Wheels down. I got a nice landing. We got a taxi back to 19. That's a long drive, man. Boys, did we just get our first acceptable landing of the campaign? Really enjoying this campaign so far. It's like,
Taxi to parking area.
it's beginner friendly in the sense that you're not going to get blown out of the sky, or at least it's unlikely. But the challenge is accomplishing the mission objectives within the parameters, specifically the time parameters, because you can't just loiter forever. They really do make you work and be efficient. And I felt that this time around, trying to protect those helicopters as they were coming into land. And I'm really excited to see what else they've got in store. I know there's some high-value target strike kind of stuff that's going on. I know there's future support to Task Force Zeus now that they're on the ground and in country. So I'm eager to see what the rest of the campaign has in store. Mission complete. Hell yeah. Well, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I sure did. That was a riot. Hope you guys are looking forward to the rest of the series as well. If you did enjoy it and you want to see the rest of this series and other tactical simulation content, combat simulations, I'd invite you guys to subscribe to the channel. I'm Controlled Pairs. This is DCS World. I'll see you guys in the next one.